Hey guys, what's up? Coach for the Soul, 3 has begun. If you're watching this live, hello. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel or the Spirit Channel TV, hey. If you're on YouTube, James, if you're on YouTube, subscribe, leave a comment, even if it's just an emoji or a hey Bill. But like the videos, yeah. If you do that for me, that'd be awesome. Intensity continues. And we'll see who pops on. It's going to be kind of deep today. I'm going to say that again when more people pop on here on the live. So yeah, it's starting to have some deep conversations today. Hey everybody, how's it going? Hello, hello, hello. Yep, hello, hello, hello. Glad you guys are joining. So yeah, the crappy day in Michigan again today. It's been raining and cold all week. I think right now it is, it's a cool 53 degrees, wind chills 47 for the third or fourth day in a row. So it's supposed to end up being halfway decent this weekend, but you know what? It hasn't been a spring in Michigan this year at all. It's going to go from cold and rainy and gross probably to 85, 90 degrees and humidity. So it's going to be but it's okay. I'd rather have the sun and everything else that goes with it. I need the sun. The damn cloudy, gloomy stuff I can't do it. So yeah. So, but like I said before, it's going to be a kind of a deep program today. It has everything to do with validation and self-worth and things like that. So we're going to get into some of those things that Spirit and I have talked about today, basically. And I mean, we've talked about it in the past, but today for sure. Because, you know, as we go through this, this transformation, right? Yeah, things just keep coming up when they're supposed to come out. Yeah, right? And last night we did our Coaching for the Soul membership Zoom get together. It was amazing, almost 2 hours long. It was fascinating again. It is fascinating. So if you're looking for spiritual guidance, if you're looking for help with clearing out your energy, with knowing why you're feeling the way that you are, why things are happening the way that they are, join the memberships. It's at billhobart.com. There's 5 different levels of spiritual guidance, okay? From 15 minutes a month to an hour and a half a month, okay? And everything is priced accordingly. I have quite a few people that are 90 minutes a month, because they're working on their stuff, because we have to do the work, right? And others I have that are inching their way into it, and they do 15 minutes, half an hour a month. So yeah, it's check it out at billhobart.com if you're into it, because come join the group. I think we've got 27 right now, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. And you pay for 12 months, you get the 13th month free. So like our readings are like $59 every month. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, come and join us. But last night was amazing. It was truly amazing. Again, I think we had 16 people or 17 people last night. Pretty good. So yeah. So like I said, it's going to be kind of a deep program about validation and about self-worth and those kind of things, because that's my last thing to really work on. That's really big. And Spirit has said to me that usually it is for most people, because we don't get validation things from our parents. We've talked about that before. So some of you may have heard it before, but obviously we got to talk about it again. So astrology-wise, it's freaking amazing. Saturn goes into Aries on the 24th. We have a full moon on the 23rd, I believe. No, 27th. And then on the 6th of June, we have Jupiter in Cancer. Ask for what you want, everybody. Ask for what you want. because the dynamics are there to bring you everything you could possibly imagine. But you got to believe you deserve it. And that's part of the validation part we're going to talk about. Okay? But astrology-wise, and Mars leaves Leo, thank God, and slides itself into Virgo, which grounds it deeply, right? Virgo is about structure, about everything has to be good. The energy has to be good. There's no such thing as this at all. What does sand do to fire? It puts it out. See? And Mars is all about fire. So the next year is going to be effing amazing. But you gotta match the energy that's coming at you. Okay? Because like Spirit has always said, especially when it comes to partners, boyfriends, girlfriends, things like that, right? Is that you have to match the vibration of the person who's yours, or all you attract is bottom feeders. If you're single, okay? That's what you're going to do. And that is all just simply because their energy doesn't match yours. It is a form of yours, okay? Because we've all been there, right? We've all been there. So raising your vibration and working on your meditations, your guided meditations, and doing the things that we need to do, right? Is, again, our daily self-care. Our daily spiritual self-care is so important because when you're in that vibration, guess what comes to you? Everything that you freaking want. Everything that you want, right? It truly does. Because spirituality is not just a whatever. Our spirituality is a lifestyle. It truly is a lifestyle. And once you accept that lifestyle because you need to, because of the work you're going to do in the future, not on yourself, because you'll be good, on other people who are asking you for your help, and you're guided to help them. Yeah. So the astrology is good. The astrology is good. It's very good. Is there some retrogrades in there? Yes. Is Jupiter gonna slide back into Gemini? Yes. Doesn't mind it, but it's not its favorite place. Cancer is its favorite place in the zodiac because Cancer is love and affection and big. And so is Jupiter. Jupiter's massive. It's the largest planet in our solar system, right? And it is there to bring you everything that you could possibly want. But the point is, you got to think you deserve it. An ego can tell you that you deserve it, right? But do you believe it inside? And I've had to work through that, right? Do I deserve my house on Maui? I was like, well, of course I do. Well, of course I deserve it. But did I deserve it here? Well, I had to work on that. See? Because it can't come to me if I don't truly believe in my soul that it's mine. That's the key. That's the key. Okay? So it is full steam ahead. Again, Saturn will be in Aries for 2.5 years. Saturn is your strict mother who says, no, we're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. It doesn't like being in Aries. Because Aries is like this. Screw you, I don't care. It's like Daisy, 13-year-old teenager who says, I'm not going to do whatever you want me to do. And Saturn's like, the hell you're not. I'm going to, well, it can try, but Aries is, right, dodging all the energy that Saturn's putting out there. Till finally Saturn just goes, I'm not going to do it. And just sit here. That's the blessing. That's the blessing. Because it just gets tired. Does it raise its ugly head? Yeah, it does every once in a while. I posted 2 or 3 astrology readers on my Bill Clairvoyant Facebook page. Check those out. I believe I posted 1 or 2 of them in the memberships. And the membership has a private Facebook group. People exchange things in there all the time about their experiences and things like that. One more reason to join, right? And I'm telling you, these people are spot on, or I wouldn't put them on my page. And they always, you just scroll down, right, the little dots, and you find your sign, and you click on your sun sign, and you click on your rising sign. And if you don't have your birth chart by now, I'm going to tell you, PamGregory.com. Scroll all the way down to Pam on Pam's website, and on the left-hand side, it says free birth chart. Click on free birth chart, okay? If you don't know what time you're born, do night and day. See which one fits. Keep them both. They'll be off a little bit, but it's the same day, right? So everything in your birth chart will be similar to each other. That's what it's about. Then you can always check. You may have checked one rising sign on one and one rising sign on the other. Why not? See which one fits. Yeah. It's all about experimentation, guys. It's all about getting yourself into it and actually, if you don't believe these professional astrologers, again, it's a group reading anyway, right? But there's always going to be bits and pieces in there that your intuition will say, that's not me. No, that's not me. No, it's not me. But also, ego can get in there and say, none of this is me. It doesn't work. I'm not going to watch this stuff. Well, that's because it's in resistance. Yeah. So, yeah. So, enough about that, okay? So, we're going to start in on validation, okay? This is something that came to me this morning. During meditation, my guided meditation, there was a new one, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Again, it's on my YouTube page, right? Or it's on my feed. It's the second thing on the page. Of course it is. You know, and it was truly amazing. Again, they know how to bring us what we need for the day. They truly do. And especially when you don't meditate as often as you should. I mean, I do my 2 days a week, maybe 3, because I feel pretty good the other days. But sometimes I got to do 4, right? And I had meditated in 2 days, and so I was feeling it, right? I'm feeling clogged down and heavy. So I told Spirit last night, okay, I'm doing meditation in the morning, blah, 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 be all good. And Daisy was sick last night, so we were up at 2:30. She's still not feeling well. So I was up, you know, and she slept with me last night after she went outside and she had some stuff that went on. Yeah. So I was tired and things, but I knew I was going to do it. I knew I was going to do it anyway. Why? Self-care. I need to let this energy that I'm collecting on my body in 3D, I need to let it go, right? Guided meditation does that. And it was fabulous. Again, brand new, that I've never seen it before. I've never heard it before. And it was absolutely great. And like I said, I believe I posted it on my Bill Clairvoyant Facebook page. So self-care is everything. So I'm working on my validation for self-worth. And Spirit says it's the last big thing, let's say the cement block, right, to ascension. Okay? Now, if you look at your life and see where you've gotten validated in your life, you have to take note of that and understand that validation and self-worth it's a feeling of belonging. It's a feeling of love. It's a feeling of truly believing in your soul that this is who I am this lifetime, right? And we all know that back in the day, they didn't, again, parents, jobs, school, they were meant to disarm you, take away your power, okay? But how much validation did you get from your parents, okay? How much mirroring did you get, right? So I hear what you're saying is because they didn't know, right? So for us to ascend into 5D and be good in that place, and ego shrink down to a little coffee bean, all right? Because it's connected to that, right? We've never had a truly validated life or a life with self-worth. So ego thrives in that because it's a big chunk of ourselves which is not validated. So we have to do that for ourselves. Think about all the great things that you've done in your life. And some people will say, well, I haven't really done anything that's good. Well, you're still alive. Still alive. I don't know who's doing with my phone. Yeah. You're still alive. And you're still prosperous. And you're still, the glass is still half full. Although many times, we've never been taught that. Right? We've only been taught, well, I don't have. And some people, unfortunately, they do not. And they can change that by doing their work on themselves. Right? It's just the way it is. I truly believe that. Do I believe that in sojourning? Yes. Do I believe in strife to a point? Yes. I grew up in the second 60s and 70s. Trust me. Yeah, I had my own money, right? Because I wanted what I wanted, and my parents weren't going to do that for me, or any of us kids. See? So if you can look at your childhood, and you can look and see, okay, it can be poor me, or it can be I understand my mom and my dad. I've forgiven them truly in my heart, right? That they didn't know anything about raising kids. They just went off what their parents did, right? And the schools didn't know to do those things because it was all about reading, writing, and arithmetic, right? There's no feelings here. Again, as we go deeper into the age of Aquarius, we have to understand that the population is going through it too. Like they don't know why they're feeling the way that they do. Well, our job in the future will be to educate them about why they feel the way that they do. See? And for us, we have to get there first because they can't promote us, right, to 5D permanently until we've got a score. And the score is, I've worked on myself. I've truly worked on myself. I've gotten therapy if I need to have therapy because I was too close to my father, right? When he died, or my mom, or my grandma, or my grandpa, right? And that's past life stuff. And you can't, I know, you can't resolve it many times on your own because you don't have the tools to resolve it yet. That's when therapy works, right? Guided meditation is great, times, but it can't get deep down inside your psyche of how you were raised and the difficulties that you had or the triumphs that you had, right? The amazing things that happened to you. Every child has a different experience in every single family, right? I will tell you, I had a different mom and a different dad than my sister did. I had a big difference from my mom and my dad for my two older brothers. Soul journey, right? Yeah. They had it much easier with my mom and my dad because they had just two kids. They didn't expect my sister and I. 5 years later, hey. 14 months later, my sister, hey. Yeah, see? Now my mother had 4 children. She only wanted 2. See? But it is what it is because, again, your soul journey said you're going to have 4. But the great thing was it was split by 5 years. So the little kids, we were the kids, my brothers were the boys. See? So understanding that their situation was not perfect, that their situation wasn't ideal, but I'm alive. See? understanding again that they did not know what to do for us because they never got it either. They had to learn it, right? If at all. So when we're in this journey of transformation, right? James, we have to really go after care for ourselves. We really have to make it our lifestyle, our life, right? Again, outside world's outside world, and it will get you, hell. It's so freaking disappointing and so angry, makes people angry and things like that, including myself, that it's all being busted apart, but it's supposed to be busted apart so we can rebuild it. Soul journey, right? That's why I say, don't pay attention to that. I click it off my iPad and my laptop all the time. No, not gonna, no, off from YouTube. No, right? Because I'm aware of what it does to me, how it infects me, right? Going towards my validation, going towards validating myself, right? Because I've always been validated by people in my job, but when it comes to personally, I didn't matter. I didn't learn that good self-image or anything like that, right? Because I was too busy surviving like everybody else. But now, when people say, well, you need to love yourself, right? How the hell do you do that? Is there a book on that I can read? Probably. Am I going to read it? No. Is my ego going to let me read it? Oh, hell to the no, right? Resistance. But when you start to understand who you are, and you start to again, through guided meditation, taking layer upon layer upon layer off of your body through the meditation, right? And you're able to see the cool stuff. You see, okay, I got this much junk I got to get rid of, right? How can I have that much junk? Well, because it took you, in my case, 65 years to get to this point. Is it dwindling? Of course it is. Of course it is. Because I have good spiritual practices, right? I don't beat myself up as much as I used to for making mistakes and things like that. Because self-worth is like, okay, I need to stop that narrative. Is it easy? No. Had it as children, right? Our parents didn't ask us, are you okay? My parents didn't ask anything like that. Anything like that. They're just happy that we were alive. We went to school. We were gone all day during the summertime and came maybe home for lunch. And we got to be back for dinner at 6 o'clock and in the house by the time the streetlights come on. That's all. They didn't worry about anything else. They were too wrapped up in their heads because they didn't have the tools, right? We have the tools available to us, everybody. Talking out loud to ourselves, problem solving with ourselves, and understanding when ego's got its fist in there, right? Its hand in there, manipulating how you're thinking. I'm not doing that. Nah, I'm not doing that stuff. No, that's not true. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. No. Because as I go forward into who I'm becoming, I know my responsibility to myself. Right? And that's simply because I deserve it. I deserve it. Been a rough life, but a prosperous one. I'm still alive, not dead, right? And can still pretty much eat what I want that works with my body. See, I can still buy things I don't need a lot of stuff. I don't leave my house a lot, right? Because there's no reason to. Yeah, go to the grocery store, see a friend. Okay, cool. When you're retired, that's kind of how it works, right? When you're retired from my traditional job. Yeah. So as you go through this back and forth, which you're going to, always understand that crying is good. Showing emotion is good. Validating those emotions is good. Right? That you deserve to cry because of blah, 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 and talk it out loud to yourself. Do you deserve it? Go ahead. It's no big deal. Guess what will happen? Self-preservation will kick in and go, fuck that. No. I don't need to cry about that. You know what? I cried enough about that. I'm done. Missing somebody. My mother died when I was 28 years old, right? It took me 5 years to get over her. And she was talking to me the whole time too. I didn't even know it was her. See? So grief is good. Because you can tie your junk, your shit, with the grief and heal from it. Why are you so emotional still? Well, it's been 3 months. It's only been 3 months. Talk to me in 3 years. My sister, 2 years since her husband died. Is she healed? No. Does she work on it? Yes. Yes. Does she sit in it and feel it? Yes. And that's the point, one of the points the Spirit wants to talk about, right? We have to sit in our feelings. We have to sit in our stuff. And we have to feel it. Especially past life stuff, like this lifetime stuff, but past life stuff. Somebody passing away, right? My father died 11 years ago. Was I upset? Yes. Was I crushed? No, because I saw him 2 weeks before he died. Was I saying goodbye to him? Not really. But I knew it. But again, as Spirit had said to me when I saw him for the first time in 3 months, no, not even 6 weeks, whatever. This will be the last time that you see your dad. I'm like, okay. He's still my dad, right? But I'm blessed that I can talk to him. As all of you can talk to yours once you work through and eliminate and cast out all of your trauma from this lifetime. You're going to be connected automatically. You're not, or you wouldn't be watching this program for sure. Here live or on YouTube or on the Spirit Channel TV. Yeah. See? But where we're going is greatness. Where we're going is being balanced and healed. And that in turn, we turn that love towards ourselves and look at us as how great we are for still being here. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how old you are. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. See? And then going through your life and talking about out loud to yourself or journaling, putting it down on paper, put it down on your phone, put it on your iPad, for the book you possibly might write in the future. Because as we go further and further into 5D, we forget. They remove those memories from our minds. They do. They do. We used to compact them inside of our head and everything was great. Well, now that we're going into 5D and we're basically returning home and the energy is what we remember, guess what happens? As we get there, our brain works differently and all kinds of new neuro settings, all kinds of new travel pathways, all kinds of new everything. See? Because our spiritual side is there. We just disconnected from it for 12,000 years or more. Some of us did not this lifetime. See? So understanding that you're all going to be able to connect with your loved ones, with people from this lifetime and past lifetimes. Will you do that as a career? No. That's just so you can have conversations. Again, my mother's told me what to do since I was probably 5, and probably before, right? And tell you what, she still has conversations with me about, no, you're not going to do that. No, you're not going to do that. No, come on. Come on, Bill, come on. Or my dad will say, son, blah, 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 blah. Again, reinforcing how much they love me, right? Could show it when they were human because my dad did, but my mom, that's not how she was. That's how she was programmed. That's my soul journeys with her, my dad. It's my soul journey with my parents, right? Now, if you had or have impossible parents, there's a reason for that. The reason for that. Self-preservation, self-love, validating yourself, self-image, how you feel about yourself, how you can look at your accomplishments and give yourself a pat on the back, right? Being in love with yourself is not ego at all. It is preservation. It is love. It is confidence. It is validating yourself for having a good day. I do that all the time. What a great day today was, Bill. It was amazing. It was amazing. Everything happened exactly. Oh, it was so cool. So cool today. Because I will tell you, I am fascinated by some of the things that happened to me. I am. What comes out of my mouth? Again, just because this is the separation for me. My job and Bill. As my therapist would say to me 15 years ago, if I could get you to take your who you are at your job and put it with you who you are as a human being, you would be unstoppable. Well, Capricorn is kind of, yeah, I'm good. You know, we kind of like to be by ourselves. Yeah. And if you're not by yourself, then it can become codependency, which again is part of self-worth, right? I'm not worthy, I'm not worthy unless I'm with him. I'm not worthy if I'm not with my sister. I'm not worthy because on my own, I'm nothing. When you make that realization and you go, not really, I don't know where I got that from. Well, I was dependent on my mom when I was a sick little boy, right? Patterns don't change, everybody. Patterns do not change. They don't. What you learn in childhood, because you are absolutely taking how your parents treat you, and you do what? You survive. What did my older brother say about my sister and I? Billy cries all the time, and Martha does nothing but whine. Well, there's a reason for that. My sister's extremely empathic. She's a freaking Scorpio Capricorn rising. She's psychic. So she's feeling that Billy's crying all the time. Why? Because a freaking voice in my head, and people were touching me all the time. I don't want you to touch me. No, that's Capricorn. I'm good. Don't be touching me. But as a kid, hey Julie, as a kid, the love touch, right? Yeah, that's what it was about. My mother didn't have that touch. She was a good woman. I mean, trust me, I'm alive. And I did some pretty stupid things growing up. And yeah, and as a boy, right? Or as a gay man, as a little gay boy too, right? Yeah, we all do stupid stuff as kids. And they didn't pay attention. And if they did pay attention, they didn't say anything because we didn't get hurt. So what we pattern ourselves on is the energy in our house, the hierarchy in our house, right? I had two older brothers. I did not have any power. I thought I did, right? Because I'm a Capricorn and I was the mouthiest of any of the kids. My mother would commonly say, "Who do you think you're talking to?" When in my head, I'm thinking, you, why? Because you don't, couldn't say that because it would be like, yeah. And Julie, you didn't live with my mother, but I love you anyway. Yeah. So my mom was a pretty good woman. She took care of a lot of people. She cooked for a lot of people. She loved a lot of people, but she did not act like that to her own kids. She was more for this than this, and that's okay. Again, my sister's good. She's doing her stuff. I'm doing great, doing fantastic. My oldest brother, my second oldest brother, who's still here, my other brother passed, he struggles. He struggles in his mind as a Sagittarius. He doesn't have self-love. He doesn't have those kinds of things, right? He stands in acting like my mother. and it doesn't serve him. But that's his life, right? So my sister and I raise our vibration. She's finding that out now, that holy shit, right? Can't believe what she knows. She can't believe what she sees. Can't believe what she hears, right? She's amazed. And she's telling her friends, you need to talk to my brother. He's really positive. I was always outwardly positive, but not inwardly positive, because I was never verified. I was never told that it was good. Yeah, it was good. See? So as we have to do that for ourselves now, we have to. I will look back on my career in retail footwear. Couldn't nobody touch me. I was the best of the best every place I worked, and they fawned over me. Did I take it to heart? No. Didn't take it to heart, because Capricorn doesn't, as I just keep on going. It's like the Energizer Bunny, right? But then you look back and you go, okay, no love, nobody there. Again, focused on my job, because that was my partner. Yeah. There's my partner. Hey, Tom. Yeah. See? So as we go through this awesome transformation, and we look at our stuff and we validate ourselves, right? And we give ourselves great conversation of how we are, how we look back and see what we've done. We're still alive. And there is no rating system, right? I know people that are millionaires. Am I that person? No. Do I hope to be that person? I don't hope. What's going to happen is going to happen. Do I ask for it? Of course I do. Money makes your life much easier. It's even better when you pass it around to people, because you have too much. You have too much of it, right? So do I feel any different with my friends that are millionaires? No. Do I think I'm less than? No. I'm more human, because they've taken it to their ego instead of to their heart, right? Doing what they do, wonderful. Been there, done that. I'm single and have a great apartment, been here for 15 years, right? I look at all my accomplishments. Right? This is where I wanted to end up. And looking back at my career, I freaking kicked ass. Did I do everything right? No. Did I work around the system? That's a good Capricorn. Getting what I want? Oh yeah, for sure. But busting my hump and my employees doing the same thing, making lots of money, right? And having these skills of leadership and understanding understanding that they are young and they had this grounding, this place. I worked for Bill. His standards were his bar was really high. And I lived that because I made lots of money with him. Because money makes your life easier. It does. Does it buy you everything? Well, yeah, it does, but it doesn't make you happy. That's where the therapy and the self-love from self-talk and connecting to your spirit guides, your guardian angels, doing your guided meditations, doing those things for you. Why? Because you love yourself. You deserve it. Because as you keep your vibration high, like Spirit said a little while ago, all of the fruits of your labor, spiritual labor, come to you. And you're grateful for the big things that happen and the little things that happen. Again, I'm grateful for Daisy, right? Crazy little girl, but I love her to death, right? And I think back, I got her December 28th. I was single on January 28th. Soul journey. Did I put two and two together? Yeah. but I was healing in 2024. See? Removing, allowing all the things to leave my body that had been stuck there for 8 years. I'm a different person, totally different person than I was in 2016. Way different. Like 1,000 times different. Am I thankful for that? Definitely. Because you can't let go of stuff until you know what you got to let go of. Because you either carry it in your solar plexus, in the top of your gut, or your heart. 2 places that we're going to hold all of our stuff from this lifetime, which feeds into our ego and that connect to our brain. Yeah. See? And all those things, when we feel bad, why am I feeling bad? Again, I know that I don't like the mornings. I don't like the mornings at all. I don't want to be outside in the rain at 6:30 with the dog. But guess what? Baby's got to go potty. I turn on music, buds are in, my knit hat's on, my winter coat's on, it's just freezing outside, and we're walking from one end to the other and back. She goes potty, she sniffs, she does her thing, she wags her tail, she's a happy girl. That makes me happy. Very happy. Then we come home, she eats her breakfast, I eat my breakfast, yeah, and then I start my day, and she takes her nap. Because she's awake all night. See? Pretty good. Pretty good. I like the routine, but I really don't want to get up in the wintertime at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning when it's still dark outside and having to go through the snow so girl can go potty. Because she's not just going outside and go potty. She has to walk. She has all that energy that she's been carrying for 7 or 8 hours, right? I haven't seen my daddy because she's on the couch and I'm in the bedroom. Unless she decides to sleep in my bed, right? Which isn't often. Just when she's feeling bad, she needs daddy, right? Like a child. It's awesome. But think about that. They brought me Daisy a month before I became single. Same day. 30 days later. Damn. See? Did I know that at the time? No. That Spirit was going to tell him to leave the house? No. But they did. Best thing that ever happened to me. Because I've already healed from that, right? Because I understand why it happened. Had to. Yeah. It changed me big time. From who I was in upper 3D to who I am now. Do I dislike him? Not at all. I love him. Together for 8 years. I'm never going to get over that. But do I feel for him? Of course I do. Yeah. I'm Bill. That's what I do. I love people because I see their circumstances. And they're not there yet to do their transformation. Make the same mistakes. And jump into things and whatever. Yeah. But eventually they will. That's the blessing. And I don't know how many times, again, these are employees who have talked to me on the phone and said, Bill, thank God I work for you because you taught me so much about perseverance, about having focus, about having stability, about making money and having a life too. That I wouldn't be 49 years old, Bill, and have what I have if I wouldn't have worked for you. In fact, I will remember this. 2015, I got a phone call from a guy from my elementary school, right? And I forgot who he was. I knew his name, but I didn't remember what he looked like. He changed schools in after about probably 5 years, probably 5 years of being in elementary school with each other, right? And he said to me, Bill, he called me Billy, right? Which everybody does, right? Who's from school. And he says, Billy, he is a professor at Harvard, which doesn't surprise me at all because he was really smart, in second grade, right? But he would say in second grade, I would watch you on the playground because the elementary school I went to, we had 2 playgrounds. The little playground, which is where the kids were at, and then the big playground where like 4th, 5th, 6th grade went. And maybe they interlapped sometimes. But in second grade, you're on the little playground because the big kids were big kids, right? And he would say, I would look at you and think you had everything figured out. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, I wished I was you. I'm like, really? He goes, yes. Again, born in 1960, connected to spirit, right? Most of us were back then. We just didn't tell anybody. We had something, right? And his understanding was that Billy knew that I was grown in a little boy's body, right? But that came out of nowhere. See? So when you look at those things and you go, wow, I've been like this since then. And most of us were. Again, when we're young and we go off to school, we walk to school every day, right? That you were just going to school. That's what you did, right? Again, what you did. And the neighborhood was the school. So I knew everybody. You know, some kids lived behind the school, but in my neighborhood at 80 houses, there's a lot of kids, right? And it just worked. But to hear from somebody that at the time I was probably 55 years old, probably 55. Somebody finding me on Facebook and getting my phone number and calling me, and I'm like, wow, Mark, we just kind of like, really? He's like, yeah. He says, I just had to tell you that. Now, where did that come from? Right? Showing you other people looked at you a certain way. Yeah. Did I have that same frame of mind? No. Right? I was 7 years old. Did I think it was badass? Well, I thought it was pretty good. Right? I had confidence. Natural confidence. Again, but again, feeling different, because I was, and having this psychological thing go on. Right? Yeah. But to hear that from somebody from second grade, he was probably there through fifth grade. Yeah. See? So things like that. Look back at what you did, how you survived as a child. Right? Did you get the love, all that you wanted? No. No one did. No one does. They do now. If mom and dad are open and connected and loving and understanding that I didn't get everything that I needed from my parents, but I also don't want to stop my child from growing and having a skin and being able to understand the real world. The real world, which is changing now because star seeds were born after the year 2000, after 2012. See? And really, really looking at that and going, okay, my grandkids are these children that just blow my mind because they know everything. They know so much. I never knew those types of things because we came that way. From baby boomers to Gen X. Yeah. See? So, and it's all about the way that people treated you, the way that people loved you, the way that people took care of you, right? And it didn't have to be your mom and your dad. You really didn't have to. It really didn't have to be, right? Your mom and my dad were good most of the time, right? But I was a little dumbass. I mean, a lot of stupid stuff, right? I mean, yeah. You know, getting her to bike to be gone all freaking day, you know? And my mother saying, so where'd you go today? Well, we never told her because she'd be like, you can't do, yeah. It's like my going to Jacobson's story, right? When I had to buy my corduroys for junior high school. Got on the bus and my sister and went down to Jacobson, bought my corduroys I wanted. Well, where'd you get that bag at? We went to Jacobs and got, you can't do that. Why would you do that? Because I wanted them? I'm going to 8th grade and I wear a size 27 pant. I'm like 100 pounds. And you know what? I got to have something. Yeah. See? Those types of things. And if you didn't go, you weren't supposed to go. Yeah. Yeah, the go-kart, Julie. The go-kart, for sure. I mean, just all kinds of cool things that happened, and you have to look back at that with fondness. Take the stuff that happened, which was not positive. I use my bullying as a thing, right? And now at a grown age of 65, and I see these people, and I hear about their childhood, I can see why they were bullies. Yeah. Why they were frustrated as kids, as boys. Yeah. I get it. I get it. I get it. But all of us do if we take an honest look at how we were raised. Self-worth. Validation. Understanding. Right? That as we find ourselves, which is what it's all about, we're able to help other people find themselves. Your kids, your grandkids, people in the general public that eventually will come up to you and tell you their life story, and you'll have things come out of your mouth that you don't even understand where it came from because you're channeling your guides. Yeah. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. Yeah. See? So as you go through and pay attention to who you were growing up and forgive yourself for not being perfect, right? Forgive yourself for things that made you feel bad. Yeah. No, Tom, I'm not. We were just, right, we were doing our thing. There's all kinds of things that my sister and I have in common, right? With boyfriends. And yeah. And her catching me with my boyfriend and me catching her with her boyfriend and going, yeah. So she knew I was gay, right? I don't know how she couldn't think that, but yeah. But all those types of things, if you look back on and you go, okay, and the negative or the bad stuff that you think, no, heal that shit. Heal it. You're still alive. You're still alive. I mean, there's a person on here that I went to high school with, and she was lovely in elementary school. Lovely in elementary school. And I helped her with her homework, I think, or something like that. There's all kinds of people that I wasn't smart, but that I just helped out, right? And it was, we never had the right clothes. It wasn't about that then, right? We didn't take baths. I mean, stinking. Yeah. My mother would make us take baths and we'd be in there for 4.5 minutes and okay, good. Right? She'd wash us and blah, blah, blah. Okay. She'd get out of the tub and she'd dry us everything and she'd hand us underwear and put it on. She'd, pat us on the butt, go. My sister would come in, get her all da-da-da. Yeah. See? Did she do that? No. Wash your feet. You're not going to put those dirty feet in my clean sheets. What about the body? I'm a boy. No, I'm not going to give you a bath tonight or the next night or the next night. She went to school stinky, but she has boys. Yeah. The way it was. The way it was, and look at those types of things. And if you got smelly whatever at school or what, again, that strikes in your heart. But you have to understand that you didn't have your protection yet. You were honest and you were open and you wanted the world to be the way that you thought it was going to be if you had that kind of world at home. Or if you just made it up in your head. But all of those types of things are what's coming up now. And your guides are going to challenge you to look at those things and let them go, or cherish them, truly cherish them. Because as you go forward in this lifetime and you're 85 years old or whatever, and you're still acting like you're 60, because you will be, those people that you talked to when you were 65 are now 45, 50, 55 years old, 65 years old, and they remind you of what you told them. How much you helped them. How much you understood them. How one conversation with you changed their life. It'll happen to all of you. Trust me, it will. It will. You're here to be a teacher. You're here to be a teacher. You're connected to the divine. And you're going to do that type of, again, it doesn't even have to be paid for counsel, right? They're going to put a sign up, right? No, don't have to. They'll see your light. And as you go through that process now, it's about releasing what no longer serves and allowing yourself to be friendly and give yourself as much love as you possibly can. And love your parents back, even though they were freaking idiots. Crazy. Secretive. You know, I mean, that's the way it was. Yes. So I'm just going to say this because some of my friends here from my neighborhood are here. And my friend Tom says, we just went to Fitzgerald's because we always hung out in the front yard and nobody smelled us. Exactly. Those are boys. Nobody cared. And then Julie, who's the youngest Fitzgerald, their house was a house that everybody went to because there were 6 kids and there was a mom. And the mom was my best friend when I was a kid, which was wild. Well, probably one of my best friends. And we talked in day, blah, 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 right? And always spiritual stuff. And then Tom, good friend. Another guy, Mark, good friend. Yeah. I mean, it just, but Fitzgerald's was the house to go to because you could just hang out. Nobody cared, right? Front yard be full of kids, just whatever, hanging out, talking and stuff like that. Being stupid. Trust me, being stupid. And that's what it was all about. That's what we did for community. That's what we did because most of those people never bullied. Not me. Right? Again, I had protectors in elementary school. My friends that don't treat Billy like that. Don't treat Billy like that. Leave him alone, whatever. When, yeah, Julie just said, kids in our bikes. Yeah. Over a hill, like over a ramp. Right? We did all kinds of cool stuff as kids. We were gone all day. Right? And those are days that we have to remember and cherish. Because they're coming back, everybody. They're coming back. We can actually do the things that make you happy. Because all the energy that no longer serves us will be gone. Will be gone. And in this meantime, do your guided meditations twice a week, right? If you need some, let me know. Talk out loud to yourself. Talk out loud to your spirit guides, right? Give gratitude every day. Give gratitude in the morning when you wake up out of that freaking bed because you could not. Right? And when the energy is up and down, when the energy is confusing, today's been confusing for me again, big time. Emotions are everywhere. Understand why. Yeah. Because we're not made for the up and down energy. We're made to block it out and just absolutely just pound it. Those days are gone for all of us. The outside world is crazy. It's freaking crazy. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get way worse. So you have to have some type of practice to keep your mind straight and your energy straight so that you can not just function, but you can live. You can live. Yeah. Julie says it's about peace and love and lots of music. Lots of music for me. I posted something yesterday on my Facebook page about your mind and music. I can pick out every single instrument in that song. Have since I was a kid. Find it fascinating that I could do that stuff. It was kind of a game. Yeah. See? All those types of things that can remind you of the goodness in your childhood. We can always find something that's good. Is there bad? There's lots of bad. They were dumb as dirt. They didn't, again, the signs of everything, right? The signs of stuff. Our parents didn't catch. And if they caught it, they kept it quiet. Because I've talked about, my mother grew up in the Depression, and the family, my mom's family had a big farmhouse on a farm north of Jackson. And there was 22 people living in the house. Okay? And 2 of the men were pedophiles. And they didn't kick them out of the house. And the majority of the kids were girls. They didn't do things like that back then because you couldn't be shamed with having that person as your uncle or as your brother. Yeah. See? So my mother's shame, my aunt's shame, right? Yeah. Did they get by it? No, they didn't get by it. They didn't get by it. Our job is to get past it. Our job is to heal ourselves. Our job is to go, you know what? It happened. It was supposed to happen to make me this guy. It was supposed to happen to make me this woman. Yeah. Soul journey. So healing ourselves and remembering it. But as we remember it, it gets less and less painful. Yeah. My mother and sisters didn't have that. Yeah. See? Because, again, we didn't know any of that stuff. We just knew that my mother was a hoverer and we couldn't sleep in anybody else's house because you have to be in your bed by the time you go. By the time it's night, it's bedtime. You need to be in my house in your bed every single night. Yeah. Didn't know why she was overprotective about that until we grew up. Went, oh, now we get it. Now we get it. Yeah. See? And you have to, because we were pissed off that you wouldn't let us do that. I know, Tom, right? We didn't understand that. Why is she being like that? I don't get it. Can't we just go to hang out at so-and-so's house? No. You got to be home. Well, can they come over here? No. And I have anybody else's kids in my house. Again. Why? Well, then we found out. See? So we get the time and the energy to heal that part of ourselves. My parents did not. Again, I just throw a little thing in there. A woman could not have her own checking account or bank account until 1974. Think about that. My mother was always Mrs. Carl Hobart when she talked on the phone. Didn't understand that. Why? Then come to find out, she wasn't allowed. The government would not let her have. Society would not allow her to have a bank account or a checking account. Hence why women were stuck in a life they didn't want to be in. Yeah. See? So we look back at that and we understand that the more that you know about your parents, the more you can go, yeah. Glad they were still alive. Yeah. See? So work on that, guys. Truly work on that. When things come up, there's a reason why. It's to have you work on it and let it go. To clear the energy out of your body and out of your mind. To absolutely allow your spirit guide, your guardian angels, all the guides that love us, that know what we do every single day, every hour of every day, and everything in the future, to infiltrate us and to guide us in the right direction. Is it hard? Yeah. Sucks sometimes. It sucks. It sucked for me. Still does sometimes. But they prove me wrong a lot too, which helps me become more humble. Because sometimes my third dimensional Bill comes out thinking that I know, when I don't know. But they used to make me feel secure because I didn't have anybody in my family who would validate the fact that I knew. And my father would say, William, you don't know anything about Oh my God, Dad, I do. You don't. You're 12. I knew. Yeah. My mother too. Probably my friends, same exact way, right? We knew. But our parents didn't get that from their parents. So that's why. Yeah. So 2 guided meditations a week, everybody. Okay? When stuff comes up, validate it. Okay? If stuff comes up, talk to your guides. Stuff comes up, talk to yourself positively. Right? Right? Again, do self-meditations. Sit quiet. I've sat in my car when I was growing up in my car. I would sit in my car outside my house, right? And just sit there. My parents would be like, what's he doing outside? I'm preparing. I just left my friends hanging out, dancing, whatever. I didn't drink or anything, right? And I'm preparing to go to bed. So I have to wind down. My dad's going to be in bed eventually, right? My mom's going to be up till 2 a.m. or longer. So, yeah. Well, what were you doing out there? Just there? Oh, listen to music or whatever. Yeah. On my 8-track, right? Or my cassette in the car. Yeah. See? So most of us did those types of things. We didn't want to go home. We had to, right? And to go back into my house, it wasn't always perfect energy, ever. Yeah. So we kind of did those things without really knowing what it was. Unless we were told to come in the house. If my mother would have come to my car at 10:30 at night and said, you need to come in, I'm like, why? Sitting in front of my house. Mom, I don't understand. Why? Because I want to shut the house up. Okay. I would go in the house again just to do it. Yeah. Okay. Soul Journey. Blame Soul Journey. Okay. So this will be on YouTube in about 20 minutes. If you guys would run over to YouTube at Bill Hobart and like the video and leave a comment, even if it's just hi Bill or an emoji, I'd appreciate it. It helps the channel grow. Okay. It goes to more people around the world, which is awesome. $65 half hours goes until the 31st of the month for Memorial Day. And billhobart.com for that. If you're interested in the memberships, billhobart.com. Okay. 5 different levels of spiritual guidance. 15 minutes to an hour and a half every single month. You can, if you want to do a half hour to start and then you need more time, you can always go to the next group and pay the difference. Or you could just, if you want it for that time, it's $65 for another half hour instead of it being $125. Okay. I'm really into letting people allow themselves to grow and to really understand who they are and heal themselves. Because healing's what it's all about. They're not going to let you go. They're not going to let you leave the planet until you do. So you might as well do it now so that you can have the rest of in my case, in Tom's case, in Julie's case, Chris's case, 30 years more. We don't want to be freaking old as dirt. Yeah. So I'd rather have the next 30 years to be freaking awesome and do what the fuck I want to do than to have this thing, which is no longer there, to deal with. That's what it's about, guys. That's what it's about. Taking that energy out of your body and letting it flow, baby. Letting it flow. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for being here. You guys know how much I appreciate it. Run over to YouTube if you will for me and like the video and stuff like that. Got any questions? You know where to find me. Okay. Again, the phone number's on the website and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Got any questions? Let me know. Have a good Memorial Day. Okay, in here in Michigan and Metro Detroit, it's going to be kind of yucky, they say, but then it's also going to be kind of getting warmer and maybe some sunshine we haven't had sunshine in like a week and a half, or not, probably a week. And it might be sunny and kind of warm on Memorial Day. So, which is normally not the case, normally rains. So, namaste. See you guys next Thursday at 3 o'clock for Coaching for the Soul. See you.